I'm simply one hell of a butler.
God, yes, the UK, where they have beans on toast. They even have a devil cosplaying as a butler. Okay, maybe not that last part. Black Butler was created by Yana Toboso. The series follows a kid named Ciel Phantomhive. After seeing his mother and father get brutally murdered, he sets out to get vengeance on the people who did it. To help him get revenge, he signs a contract with a demon, and the demon's name is Sebastian. With that contract, after they solve the murder, Ciel will have to let Sebastian eat his soul. But they also have to serve the queen because they are officially known as the guard dogs for the queen. They go around basically solving all the cases around England, helping out the queen. But there's some hidden twist in the main story that you guys probably wouldn't expect. But that's going into spoiler content. We're going to talk about the show in general. So the theme of this whole story is basically about revenge. Ciel trying to avenge his father and mother and won't stop at nothing to achieve that goal, taking it as a game of chess, using everyone as his pawn to get his ultimate goal, revenge. As much as Ciel wants to portray himself as a cold-hearted person that only wants to revenge his mother and father, and tries to act like an adult when he's like a little kid, he honestly has a soft spot for certain people in his life. He kind of acts like he wants everyone to stay away from him just because it might end up just like his father and mother getting hurt in the process. And you see this with his aunt. I feel like anyone who's really associated with him ends up dying. To help him with not having any parents, you gotta have this character like Sebastian. Sebastian is basically kind of a parent to Ciel, always being there when he's in trouble and always by his side no matter what. Even though he's basically doing it just to get his soul, you kind of see that Sebastian actually grew fond of Ciel, basically always looking out for him in certain situations. There are certain scenes where he didn't really have to be involved, but he do it out of the goodness of his heart. It's kind of weird saying that with a demon. You know, demons are basically, I always picture them like Grinches. When they do something nice, their heart grows a little bit bigger and bigger. And I feel like Sebastian is like a replacement for his mother and father because he actually has someone where he can rely on, someone a little bit older than him. What am I saying? A lot older than him. So he has someone by his side at all times and making sure he's okay. Even though the contract is still in place, I feel like Sebastian does it out of his goodness of his black heart. But other parts of the show were pretty fine. I think the fight scenes are good. I feel like they didn't need to do it like, oh, we're gonna fight, and then all of a sudden you just break into like this comedic effect. Certain fights was like, oh, they're just fighting, and then it just all of a sudden they do like a funny gag at like in the middle. Like that kind of threw me off. I felt like they could have just kept going, but I get it. You know, I enjoyed it, but I feel like they could have just kept going with the fight scenes without like always like pausing and like each time. Usually Sebastian was the one who was doing most of the fighting in this series, which dude basically fought every episode because he's always needed. And the one thing I don't like about Ciel's like character, why is he so goddamn useless? I'm sorry, I was not trying to compare him to anybody, but I'm comparing to Bruce Wayne. At least Bruce Wayne decided to learn martial arts. At least learn that. He's always in these situations, always having his butler there. You would think with all this pent-up hatred he has for the person that killed his family, he will have more, fight in him where he can defend himself. But no, he just gets destroyed every single time. And I wish the anime kind of didn't lean into that so much. I feel like Ciel should have had some moments where he could have had like a fight for himself instead of just always relying on Sebastian. And that's probably one of my things I didn't like about the show. I wish they could have just done it where Ciel was training. They did an episode where you learned fencing, but I'm like, how's that going to help you in a situation like that? And speaking of the episodes, I didn't realize while looking up for this video that half of season 1 is filler. Like there's literally filler episodes scattered around this. The half the season is filler, and season 2 is just straight up filler. So I was like, you might as well just give my thoughts on season 1, because I think 1 through 13 is canon, but the rest is filler. Unless I'm wrong, put it down in the comments down below if I'm wrong. But yeah, the episodes were just scattered all over the place in season 1. Like, they literally dedicated a whole episode to taking a picture of Sebastian. Like, literally dedicated episode just for taking a picture of him. I'm like, okay. And I don't care about filler. Granted, I did not read the original manga, so I have no right to complain about any filler at all if I never read the original source material. So I'm going to say that the fillers were pretty fun to watch. I didn't mind it just because I have not read the original manga. So maybe I'll do a video trying to going back to season 1 and reading the manga if you guys will like that in a video, because I did not know half of it was filler. It did feel like filler, but I felt like some of it was actually important to the story and everything. So I'm like, okay, it was really good. I thought it was actually part of the manga, but I guess not. But all I gotta say is Black Butler was really enjoyable to watch. I feel like if the action scenes weren't just stop, gag, pause, then I probably would have been more into the action scenes. I feel like they were just going for like, oh, cool action, but here's a funny bit in the middle of it. But I think the series is really good, and I suggest you guys watch it, even though season 1 is basically half filler, season 2 is just straight up filler. The ending of season 1 was really good. I think it's really perfect. And if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below. Have you watched Black Butler? And I'll see you guys later. Peace.